Okay, folks. Well, I'm about ready to install this motorguide trolling motor. It's 105 pounds of thrust, 36 volt system that I'm putting on this 22-foot pontoon boat. I've already mounted the trolling motor, as you can see, and of course, when you mount this, you want to make sure you get, past the deck here. Install the 6-gauge wire, which is going to be running from under the seat here where the controls will be. I'm going to actually drill a hole into the seat area there, and I'm going to put my connection there. I'm going to run it down up underneath the boat where I've taken everything apart, and this is already wrapped in conduit, so I'm going to run that back to where the batteries go and take it from there. Okay, well, I'm back up top in the boat, and I'm going to take these wires. It's going to go down into that hole back there, as you can see. And then right about in this area here is where I'm going to hook my hook up. All right, well, I got that wire run. And here's the connection. This is what it's going to slip into. I'm going to drill a hole back up in here and push this through the other side, and then it's got a locking nut on that to get on this side to lock it into the side there. So I'm going to be drilling a hole into the side. I've also got a NMEA my NEMA 2000 cable that I'm going to have to run up through here for my electronics that will also hook into the XI5, and I will then be able to control the trolling motor from my Simrad unit. So hopefully I got enough room to get it down in there. I might have to pull this wire back out and get the cable in there first, but we'll see. All right. Okay, now for those of you who are trying to hook up your network to the motor guide, you'll notice you'll have this outlet coming from the GPS, which run to your networking system to run off your chart plotter. You have to get for motor guide, it's their pinpoint GPS gateway. You got to have this to run the motor off your electronics. It's a whole different pin setup, because you can't just hook your NMEA 2000 cable directly into that. It won't work. You got to have this gateway kit. They're about, I've seen it from $199, and I've got this one off of eBay for $124. And so it was brand new in the box, no problems with it. You even get an extra T connector so you can hook it up to your backbone off the NMEA 2000 network. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. Alright, now I'm about to install this fitting where the wire will come through and lock into this, and then I can plug the motor directly into that. As you can see, this one is probably just a little bit too big, so I'm going to use this next size. Is just the size of that, and then I'm going to round out the edges so this will slide through, and I'll have a lot more sealing surface when I pull this to that vinyl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark where I want it. I'm going to make a little slit in here and open this vinyl up, and not just drill through the vinyl. Okay, well, as you can see there, here's that little slit I made. So I'll open this up and get my bit in there, and now I'm working this vinyl up over top of the hole saw, and then I'll get that in there. I got underneath of it out over here. Once I pull this out and over, and then once I get this other side out, I'll go ahead and actually probably just do this by hand, because this is just a plastic shell casing to that seat. All hooked up, so we're going to go ahead and take this out. And there you go. A lot easier than doing it by hand. So now I'm through there. As you can see, I got my hole, and then when I push that vinyl in, this here will slip right in there like that. Hook it up. Alright, so I got that locking nut on there. and this will go ahead and slip in through there. Now I will tell you, if I can find the other end of that, it had one of these plugs in here, okay? This cap was actually on the end of this, and I had to take that out. And basically this end here, it's into that. You get a pair of pliers and you can pop that right off, because if you don't, this won't slide into there. And then I've still got the cap to this, and I'm going to figure out a way how I can attach it in there. I might have to drill me a little hole so I can pull it out and get this hook up, but we'll see. Not sure yet. Just remembered was when I took his pin out, that's that cover. I took his pin out. This was actually in here like that. I pulled that out. Well, this insert that I got has that hole. You might not be able to see it. But anyway, it's got a hole where this pin will go down in here. Okay, that pin will go down into that hole, and it lines up with where the hole is that came out originally. So that'll go through there. Once this is in here, I'm going to go ahead and put this in, put that pin in there, and that locks this into that. And then I got this cap. But what I got to do is, once I get that installed, I got to come through this hole, which is in the front. I don't know why they got that hole down there. I'm going to drill a hole up top there, feed this wire through there, and then I'll still be able to use this cap, and I'll pin that in there. I'll still be able to use this cap to cover that up when I'm not using it. So there we go. All right, well, I'm back. My phone kind of died, and I had to go get a charger and hook up the electric. And anyhow, I got this set up. As you can see, I drilled that hole. Try and get a decent picture of that with this coming through. So now I can hook that up. That's it. I had to pin this part here. So now at least I got this cap, so when I'm done, you know, I can hook that up. When I'm not using it, I can cover that up. So it's pretty cool. A lot of work, but we're getting there. Okay, so there we go. I taped up the connection to the NM EA 2000 plug just to keep it dry a little bit, and then I just taped up the rest of that to that main wire cable. So that's all coming through the wall. There's the cable I put through that hole. Unfortunately, I had to drill somewhat of a bigger hole so I could get my hook up. So I'll have that. I'm going to go ahead and attach the plug in. I'm not going to cut this cable. I'm just going to take these eyelets off and hook this up. Now I'm going to wrap this up just in case, for whatever reason, if I need to sell this boat, or I'm definitely going to keep that trolling motor, I'll still have this extra cord hooked on. So I'll just probably wrap this all up real nice and neat, tape it up, and have enough to plug in here just to keep it nice and dry. Okay, so there it is, all wrapped up nice and neat, plugged into the side. Got the NME A cable. It's coming out hooked up. I'll be able to get this hooked into my chart plotter, my Simrad. I got a NSS9 Evo 3. And we'll get that all hooked up. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this wiring all the way back to the console, get my batteries in sync, and go from there. All right, just to give you a quick rundown, that's that cable coming from the bottom, along with the NME A cable that I'm kind of rigged up underneath there. And I got this running straight through because I got these panels that got to go up underneath here, so I got to keep all the wires out of the way of this beam here. So I got to keep these wires up and out of the way. And then I had to drill a hole through here so I can run that cable through there and not get underneath. I can't have nothing going under here. So I got that running through there. And then it's going to come out, and then I'm going to go ahead and track it down through where all the rest of the cable is, through that, and then get to that center console up there. Get it up underneath. There's a big hole drill in the middle where all the wiring goes. So hopefully I can fit this through to all that mess. We'll run that black shiny black thick one running down there. Barely got it in these areas here because already got all that cable in through. That was a tight squeeze, but we got it in there. I got it in there. There's my NMEA 2000 network cable that ends here. I do have another extension. It's probably about 4 or 5 foot, which will work out because I'm going to have to shove that through. I don't know, you can't see it on there, but all those wires go up underneath of there because that's my center console right there. So, and that's my plug-in for my chargers. All right, but now we're on top of the boat. That's the 2 batteries I had to get to go inside here. Yeah, I know it's going to be a tight fit, but we're going inside this mess. That's my 2-bank battery charger. I think what I'm going to do is just get another 2-bank, and then I can hook up to the 3 batteries and keep everything else I got hooked up to that, and just hook up to the other 2. And then I'm going to tie the outlet up there where I got a plug-in up there. That way I can just plug into the side of the boat and keep it that way. I'm hoping I can just hook both of these up to that one plug-in. I think I can. Well, it's been tough getting that string down through that hole. So I got this extra NMEA cable that's going to attach to the one that's running from the trolling motor. Then I'll hook it up to my backbone that I have here from the original setup that I got. And I got to add one more T to it. And then I'll hook this up, but I got to run this down there anyway, so I'm going to tape that string to that, and I'll give you something a little bit more solid to push through that hole, and then I'll pick it up at the other end. All right, well, as you can see, I got ahead and got that cable through, and there's the string. I'm going to hook that to this and pull it through, and then I got to hook these 2 up. And then we'll be good to go. I'll tape this connection up because it'll be on the outside part of the boat, and then I'll have it ready to go. Alright, so I'm all set up. I got the NMEA cable hooked up and taped up, and I got this little rig up here, the string. I'm going to pull it up through here, and hopefully I can get it through all that mess up there. All right, well, that was a little bit of work, but there it is. Got it through. I know, all that mess. I know you guys are probably saying, what? And I don't know. One of these days I may get in there and fix all this up, but that's actually how the boat came, to be honest with you. I mean, I've got a lot more wires that I probably got coming through here than the original, but not too many. But anyhow, we'll try to get it straightened out one of these days. But I got the 3 batteries in here. Doesn't give me much room left, but I got it in there. And right now I'm just hooking these up in series that it'll give me 36 volts for the trolling motor. So I got these cables. It's just little short cables. You know, you got to start from the first battery, go from positive to the second battery negative, then the second battery positive to the third battery negative. And then you hook up the trolling motor to the negative on the first battery, and then to the positive on the third battery. They call it the low side and the high side. So the low side will be negative, the high side will be positive. All right, well, here we go. I had to put that strap in so I could strap all these batteries down so they kind of won't hop around. I do a lot of fishing in Lake Texoma, and it does have a tendency to get a little rough out there on some windy days, but anyhow, I got everything hooked up. I got the power hooked up. I'm set up for 36 volts. And I went ahead and plugged the unit in. Oh, it's a lot of work. So I got the unit plugged in. There's my power. So everything's looking good. So what I got to do now is just basically unplug it and then plug it back in and then sync the wireless remote. So let's start the blade propeller and let's see how it goes. Well, there we go. You can turn it left, right. Well, I guess a little bit at a time. You can really just spin it around. You can really get it going the other way. You do have to watch this because this will keep going in circles and it'll wrap your cord up. So You know, you just can't keep pressing on one way. You know, you got to know where you're at. Anyhow, there it is. Like I say, she'll move left to right. Everything's hooked up, and then if I want to stop it, just hit the stop button. Good to go. I got to put all this back together, and then hook up all my autopilot and a whole bunch of other stuff. All right, well, let's see if we can get a good look in here. I got my batteries in there. I know it's a lot of wires are going in here, but all these networking cables, you know, it's just really hard to route to get them when I need to get them situated. But I don't know, one of these days I might figure it all out. There's the panel. There's my circuit breaker there. Here's the pump to my autopilot to the outboard hooked up. There's my battery chargers in the back. I don't know if you can see them, but you know, they're all hooked up to the 3 batteries here, and my 1 battery to my motor in the back. That's that NAC 1 computer to the outboard, and there's my backbone all set up. So got a lot of stuff hooked to it. But anyhow, that's kind of what we got. I'm gonna put all this stuff back in there, and we'll be going fishing tomorrow.